Happy Friday, North Texas! I'm Scott, and today is Friday, January 30th. I hope you're all doing all right and recovering from the cabin fever after the winter weather we had this week. We're getting back into the swing of things today with an interview about the Texas Talent Accelerator. But before we get to that, let's check in with Zach Babb for the Mean Green Minute.
A last-second shot by UTSA lifted them into the win column against North Texas yesterday down in San Antonio. That was despite a double-double from Megan Nestor, who had 11 points and 14 rebounds. Micaiah Chase also had 20 points in the 66-64 defeat. The Mean Green are back at home on Saturday at 2 p.m. against Florida Atlantic. Men's basketball fell to 12-9 overall and 3-5 in conference play with an 82-66 loss at Tulsa on Wednesday. The Mean Green still had 4 players in double figures, led by 19 points from Ja'Shawn Stevenson. North Texas men are back in action on Saturday at 7 p.m. against UAB at the Super Pit.
Thanks for that reporting, Zach. You can get more UNT athletics updates from Zach by checking out his other podcasts, GMG Cast and This Week in Mean Green Sports. Last fall, UNT convened a group of North Texas regional leaders to launch the Texas Talent Accelerator, a collaborative effort that serves as an intelligence network and unites employers, higher education institutions, and economic development organizations to strengthen the workforce in our fast-growing region. I sat down with UNT Chief Economic Development Officer and Executive Director of the Accelerator, Ben Magill, to learn more about the Texas Talent Accelerator's mission and goals.
All right, so Ben, thank you so much for joining us for the podcast today. Let's start with, can you just briefly introduce yourself to the listeners?
All right, thank you for having me, Scott. Yes, my name is Ben Magill, and I am the Chief Economic Development Officer at UNT and the Executive Director of the Texas Talent Accelerator.
And we're here today to talk about that Texas Talent Accelerator that launched last year. Can you tell us about it? What is the Texas Talent Accelerator?
So the Texas Talent Accelerator is a regional labor market intelligence network and hub. And it's really all about understanding talent supply and talent demand in North Texas. There's a lot of mismatch between what area colleges and universities are offering in their programs and what is needed in the marketplace, what is needed by employers. And so we really want to focus on labor market alignment. So we're going to be doing a lot of labor market research and analysis. We're going to be doing that analysis and research in partnership with a lot of the institutions involved. And we're also going to be sharing that information and getting feedback on that information from employers to make sure that we're on the right track.
And tell me, what excites you about the mission of this project? What made you want to come on board?
Yeah, I think what really excites me is the opportunity to have a regional impact. And one of the interesting things about the North Texas economy is that it is so incredibly diverse. So many sectors of the economy are thriving. We have the opportunity to serve all of them. We have employers involved from each one of those sectors. And we have major needs in the region. All these employers are trying to find skilled talent. And we want to make sure that not only UNT, but other colleges and universities in the region are responding and are able to fill that talent pipeline. And it's interesting. What's really exciting to me about it is that we only solve, these issues together. No one institution in the region is going to be responsible for fully, filling the talent pipeline. It's going to take the region. It's going to take everyone working together. Each one of these institutions is doing great work, but we often don't do it in collaboration, in a coordinated way. And I think to solve some of these major economic and labor market issues that we're facing, it's going to take everybody working in coordination. And I think the Texas Talent Accelerator is uniquely positioned to lead the charge there.
Did you previously work at UNT before the launch of the Texas Talent Accelerator, or did you come on specifically to be part of this project?
I did not work at UNT prior to the launch of the Texas Talent Accelerator. I came to UNT from Dallas College. I spent 10 years at Dallas College, created the Labor Market Intelligence Center there. Prior to that, I've been in a number of economic development roles at municipalities and chambers of commerce in North Texas.
And then tell me, I know it's only what 3, 4 months old at this point, but can you tell me about some of the organizations that have gotten involved so far and how y'all are kind of partnering together and working on this?
Sure. So very early on, we started working with the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas and their research team. We've been working with Dallas College and their Labor Market Intelligence Center. We've been working with Collin College, Tarrant County College, Texas Women's University, NCTC. A number of other colleges and universities have signed on to be a part of this. We've worked with, a number of employers who have come to the table and said they have an interest in providing their input, seeing, getting a look at the data and the insights we're going to be providing. We've been talking with a number of chambers of commerce and EDCs in the region, Dallas Regional Chamber, Frisco EDC, just to name a couple. And we're going to be hosting quarterly convenings of those stakeholder groups where we will share the latest insights and get feedback from the stakeholders.
So you mentioned the data and insights and quarterly convenings. How do you measure the success of this project going forward? And I guess what data points or how will you measure success? What does success look like for the Texas Talent Accelerator?
Great question. A few different ways. I mean, I think on one level, if we can, as the Texas Talent Accelerator, do work, research, present reports that are additive to the great work that's already going on in the region by some of our partners, then I think that is a success metric. I think if we are able to keep the various stakeholders at the table and involved and getting their feedback on the work that we're doing, that is a success metric. I think there's a big opportunity at the margins to, for example, show or highlight where there are great opportunities for students that might ultimately influence them to change their major from, say, general studies to a very specific program that leads to a high demand wage in a great career where there's a lot of demand for that type of talent. So I think there's a big opportunity there. And I think another success metric is if we can inform decisions that institutions in the region are making about the programs that they offer and, even perhaps the curriculum that is within those programs. And if we can influence the decisions that students are making about the degree programs and the certificate programs that they select, that's another success metric. I think we'd be really proud of that.
Yeah. Will this be like something that students enroll in outside of their regular coursework? Or is the idea to work with employers to understand the skills that they need students to develop and integrate that into the curriculum of the courses they'll already be taking?
Yeah, great question. So our aim at the Texas Talent Accelerator is to provide actionable insights. You may have heard President Keller mention that term, actionable insights. So we want to inform decisions that institutions are making and ultimately that students are making. We're not asking anyone to sign up for a specific program. We want to provide intelligence, right, on what's happening in the labor market, where the best, what the best jobs are, where the best opportunity is for students, where employers can find great talent in the region, what institutions are graduating, quantities of students with the degrees that they're looking for as an employer. So really just helping to inform decisions to provide actionable insights between the different stakeholder groups.
Yeah. So it sounds like maybe also, okay, employer X, if you're looking for this specific skill set, maybe try looking at people who major in this actually do some work that could translate well to that skill.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk long term. Obviously, as I mentioned, still kind of in its infancy right now, but how do you envision this project growing and continuing to serve Texans for a year to come? What's kind of the pie in the sky ambition?
So I think our goal, long term is really to position the accelerator as a trusted source in the region for understanding talent supply and talent demand. I think we also want to position ourselves as a trusted convener of the different stakeholder groups that I mentioned. We are in the process of building a small team right now to do the research on the labor market and to keep building the stakeholder network. I think there's a really interesting opportunity for us to build a regional model, and if we do it right, it could be expanded. It's something that could go, eventually could be a statewide model. But first, we want to make sure that we perfect this model regionally, that we demonstrate that we have the ability to partner, to collaborate, to bring stakeholders together, to do labor market research and analysis that is additive to the region and is of value to our partners. And if we can do, all of that work in concert, I think it makes a stronger region. And maybe that model could be expanded to a statewide model.
All right. Is there anything we didn't cover or anything else you'd like to talk about to let people know about the Texas Talent Accelerator?
I think the biggest thing is to emphasize that, while this is a project that is an outgrowth from UNT and is supported by UNT, it is truly a regional effort, and we'll have regional impact and regional partnerships. And any work that we do at the accelerator is to serve not only UNT but all colleges and universities in the region. So I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah. Let's say somebody's listening who works for a big regional company and says, "Hey, we want to get involved and be part of this." How do they get in touch?
Yes, you can find more information at texas-talent.org. You can go to our website there, and it has my contact information. We can get you on our mailing list, and we've got quarterly convenings that we'd love for you to be a part of.
Great. I'll make sure to link to that in the show notes too, so people can check it
Cool.
out. Thank you so much for the time, Ben. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, Scott.
Big thanks again to Ben for making the time for us. I'm excited to see the impact of the Texas Talent Accelerator across the wider regional economy. Check the show notes for a link to learn more about the Texas Talent Accelerator. Let us know what you think about the show by emailing podcast@unt.edu or calling 940-565-4341. And don't forget to help us grow by telling a friend about the podcast, sharing it on social media, or leaving us a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen. Until next time, we hope you have a happy Friday, North Texas, and go Mean Green. Happy Friday, North Texas is a production of the University of North Texas. Today's show was produced and edited by Scott Brown with original reporting by Scott Brown. For more information, visit unt.edu/podcast.